Aloha, this is Tom Lesher with the Weekly Pele Report. I wanted to make clear one thing about this Pele Report. You know, Pele is the Hawaiian goddess of the volcano. And this report is named after Pele. She is a very powerful goddess, and this powerful goddess brings up molten lava from the core of the earth and spreads it out over the surface, expanding the island a couple square miles every year. The island grows, and it is very significant of this underworld goddess. This week, in particular, the last week of 2011, that we have the sun conjoined with the planet Pluto, which in Greek mythology was the god of the underworld. This is a very underworld time. And if we look at shamanism, we look at the different worlds, the upper world, the middle world, and the underworld. The underworld is the world of feeling, the inner world. It's the root chakra. And it's very chaotic. It's very much associated with the unconscious, that which we just don't know about ourselves, but we can feel these feelings. And they can be feelings of fear. They can be feelings of insecurity. This root chakra looks for security. And this Sun-Pluto conjunction is happening in the sign of Capricorn, which has to do with physical security, financial security, some solid material earthly sense of stability, that I am going to last, that I am going to make it, that I have some strength, some power, some impact, some purposeful, meaningful reason for my existence. So this can be a time, and it's great for New Year's resolutions. You know, people go back and reflect. Saturn in Capricorn is the sign of reflection, the planet of reflection. This is a very deep time of inward reflection. It's a new moon, that has just happened, and we're moving now. The moon's moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius and into Pisces, and really by January 1st, we have that moon squaring the sun, just as we have the planet Uranus squaring Pluto throughout this whole year of 2012. So it's like underscored, it's underlined, or it's highlighted that we have this sun up here, yes, in Capricorn conjunct Pluto, and then the moon coming around for the first quarter square to Uranus, in the sign of Aries. It's a very powerful time that, the indications, what this signifies is self-awareness, coming into greater, deepening, continual self-awareness through dealing with and looking at our shadow. The other thing that I want to point out, just before I get into the meaning of it, is Jupiter is opposite Saturn. And that is, that's as close as it's going to get, right now, this week also. That was also opposite last March. So there's a certain connection between last March and now. And this is all having to do with this opposition, Jupiter to Saturn, Saturn ruling Capricorn, Sun, Pluto in Capricorn, all this stuff. That's why I'm in the shadow. Hopefully you can see the bay and the Golden Gate Bridge behind me. I wanted to get that, but you don't need to see me because I am the shadow this week. But the shadow, our shadow is what? It's our unconscious. It's all of the things that we suppress, deny, avoid, really don't want to look at about our lives, about ourselves. And a lot of these have to do with our fears and our insecurities. And so this is a time, the sun is lighting up our fears and our insecurities. And not only that, but with this Jupiter-Saturn opposition, it's almost like It's projecting them, because like what we don't acknowledge about ourselves, we project out onto the world and out into our relationships and onto other people. So the less aware we are of ourselves, the more we project and look, and blame and resent and have issues with the world at large, government, society, religion, parents, spouses, children. Everybody else has got all these problems and issues. So this leads me to the mantra for this week. The mantra for this week is how I see the world is how I see myself. So this week, as you look out into the world, or you look out at your spouse or your partner or your family or your boss or your government, and you say, oh, they are so greedy. Oh, they're so self-centered. Oh, those power-hungry bastards. You want to just look at it and go, I am so greedy. I am such a power-hungry bastard. And just kind of, look at this. But rather than judge it, rather than judge yourself, rather than judging other people, go deeper. Use this time to reflect. Use this time to question and go deeper. It's like, why am I greedy? Why am I power hungry? Well, maybe it's because I feel powerless. And I want a bunch of things or money or possessions to give me some kind of, security, because, oh my God, I'm insecure. And go into this fear, go into this insecurity, go into these, because these are it can be revelation. It's a time of self-reflection that leads to self-revelation. And these self-revelations are at first, it's like the truth hurts. We can kind of see some ugly, nasty, small little, just slimy things about ourselves. But in the long run, these will serve to help us and to guide us into making the right choices and the proper decisions for guiding our future unfoldment. So that, and this is also, Jupiter opposite Saturn is like limited Jupiter. Limited is Saturn. Jupiter is expansion. This is actually a time of, we may have had some really grandiose plans, ideas, self-expectations and, pressure and a lot of, commitment and a lot of things that we've wanted to do. And now is a time of actually reassessing, reevaluating with the new information that the outside world is giving us about our limitations. And it can guide us into not biting off more than we can chew, not to putting ourselves under more pressure than we can possibly stand, this can be a time of, backing off, backing down, reassessing, reevaluating that leads to adequate, what do they call that? Being politically correct. So it would be making correct choices and decisions for our future. So this can be a time of making very realistic resolutions for 2012. And I want to just encourage you, take it easy on yourself. Don't forget, you're human. We are human. I am human. Part of being human is being insecure. Why? Because security is an illusion. There is no security. There is only change. So don't get down on yourself or feel weak or inadequate because you are insecure. It's a natural state. And rather than getting down on yourself or judging yourself, honor yourself honor your fear, honor your limitations, and act accordingly so that you grow just like, the flowers and the trees and nature all bloom in their own time. And nature will give you the signs and the signals and the time to bloom. So there's no need to push the flow of the river. That's another good mantra. There's no need to push the flow of the river. Yeah. All right. So that's enough for this week. I wish you the very best for this New Year's and 2012, and look forward to connecting with you some more. I'm considering doing like a little 2012 for each one of the signs, and that may be on my website. I'm back to the mainland here doing some workshops. I'm gonna, put out some a calendar schedule where I'm gonna be, and I hope that you just have the very best time, and look forward to connecting with you further in the future. Namaste, aloha, so much love.